When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being along for the ride. I am Austin Orman. Strick's still out of town. He will be back at some point, I think. I hope. Kind of missed the guy. Heard from him a couple times while he's been on his trip. He is living it up, living his best life, as Eric Strickland is known to do. Can't wait to have him back here, but also thrilled because I don't get a host with this guy very often. The one, the only, Enrique Alvarez. Rico!
Here.
Welcome down the block, my friend.
How are you?
We're great.
This is
rolling.
great. This is amazing.
It is.
I like doing shows with you because there's one thing that I can talk about with you that I can't really talk about with anybody else that I do shows with. And that, my friend,
the association
is the association.
We will certainly get there. We're going to finish up a couple Husker Hoops things first. Next segment, we'll talk about just how Victor Wembanyama is an alien.
Kid's a freak.
It is not normal, natural, or healthy, but it is incredible. Couple things on Husker Hoops on the men's side, right? To start, not exactly a master class in finishing off a game yesterday.
No.
Casey started out by hitting his bonus free throws, missed his fourth attempt. Then Josiah Alec missed his two. Juwan Gary missed one before he hit the second one. Never got to a disaster class is the term I would say. It never got terrible.
Disaster
but Nebraska
class.
Didn't exactly put on a master class of how to finish a game.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job, right? Getting up by 17. You could hear some rumblings from the fans. You could hear some rumblings from media behind me saying, oh, does Rutgers even get to 50? Or does Rutgers close, or does Nebraska close this one out? I mean, it's over. What's the final margin going to be? Rutgers cut it to 6.
Yeah, that's just what Rutgers does.
That's what I was saying.
That's what Rutgers does. You can never really count Rutgers out because they're just a tough, gritty team that is. It doesn't matter how many times you punch them in the mouth; they're gonna punch back. They're like the Dan Campbell analogy when he first started with the Lions. You're gonna knock us down. We're gonna bite a kneecap off and get back on our way back up. Like that's Rutgers. That's Rutgers basketball. That's Rutgers every sport.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tough university, and you got to be tough when you're in New Jersey.
Oh, you absolutely do. I mean,
especially Piscataway. You never know what's going to happen.
Away.
You never know what's going to happen in Piscataway, New Jersey.
It will always be Jersey Mike's Arena to me. Or it's always it'll never be Jersey Mike's. It'll always be the Rack.
It's always the Rack.
I got always
Rack.
And
forever.
The Rutgers Athletic Center. Pick a more high school sounding name. Rutgers, I dare you.
Shout out to the Rack. Jersey
love me some Rutgers Athletic Center. Is that the box score? Can I take a look at that?
Yeah,
I'm gonna need that because I had something marked down. Oh, it's the double doubles. Josiah Alec double. His energy was huge, right? It gave Nebraska some of that margin for error. Cliff Amore didn't have a rebound for 31 minutes of game time. Nebraska got nuked on the boards the first time. Josiah Alec was much better there. Rink Mast had an okay night on the boards. Juwan Gary was good. And I thought Bryce Williams was really good. So, Rico, to me, really the first, 6 minutes of that game were the difference for Nebraska.
Yeah, no, to me, like Josiah Alec and his energy, the energy that he's bringing towards the end of the season, especially in that game against Rutgers, is the type of energy and type of athleticism that I thought they were going to get all season with Josiah Alec. And I understand that, it took him a little bit. It took this whole team a little bit to gel and to kind of find their footing with each other and work with each other. But this version of Josiah Alec is the version of Josiah that you saw at his previous stops. This is the version of Josiah that you saw at North Star, the bouncy, athletic, energetic, if you got to bring your own energy, which Nebraska hasn't had to do in PBA. But if you got to bring your own energy, that's the guy you're going to turn to. And, going up strong for dunks, not going for the layups, not going for the hook shots that he kept leaving short for a couple of games, just going up with his whole body and slamming one home. That's the Josiah Alec that Nebraska needs as this season comes to a close, and the exact type of Josiah Alec that they're getting. And as you saw in this game against Rutgers, like you mentioned, they got nuked on the boards the first time they played them. This time, providing that energy. And it was one of those things where kind of and this isn't to throw anybody under the bus, but kind of the opposite of what Derek Walker gave you last year, where he's boxing people out and allowing other people to get rebounds. He's just using his big body to keep the other big from getting a board. Josiah and Rink, and especially Josiah in this one, using his big body to keep them out while also using his athleticism to get up and get those rebounds. That's something that he's been able to provide, and Rink Mast kind of the same way, boxing out and keeping the opposing bigs from getting the boards.
Rutgers did get better on the offensive glass as the game rolled along. They ended up with 19 on the game, but Nebraska had 14 of its own. Josiah Alec had 6 of those, 2 each from Tominaga and Gary. Also, Rink Mast had a couple offensive boards as well. Nebraska struggled a little bit with Rutgers pressure. That's where I don't want to go back to the lack of a true point guard necessarily. I thought there was room for some more DeMarcus Lawrence minutes in there against that pressure. Clearly what Nebraska did worked. They won a game by double digits. I thought DeMarcus Lawrence would have been a big help offensively and defensively. I would have loved to have known why he maybe didn't get a little bit more run, especially in that second half. I mean, he only played 11 minutes on the day. I thought there was some room for some more DeMarcus Lawrence in that one. But some final notes here, courtesy of Seamus, the SID. 11 Big Ten wins. So Nebraska, the worst they can do is 11-9 in conference play. Could get to 12-8, obviously, if they beat Michigan. 4th most conference wins in the season in school history. Assured of its first winning record in conference play since 2017-18. Perfect 10-0 at home. Husker fans, pat yourselves on the back for part of that. You didn't put a single ball in the basket all year, but you played a role. That's incredible. Job well done. 18 wins overall at home. If Nebraska plays another home game, something went terribly wrong. So again, job well done. Husker fans 18-1 at home on the year. So that's huge. But here's the last thing I'll say. 9 straight games, Nebraska's held its opponents under 43% shooting. Less of an accomplishment, given that it's Rutgers. I thought Rutgers' lack of ability to shoot the basketball really covered for Nebraska's loose handle. Rutgers should have had, a much better shot in that game. They just could not hit from long range. We knew that was going to be the case going in. But credit Nebraska for digging in on defense, right? Yeah, Rutgers made a little bit of a run, but it was some garbage stuff. It was some tips that Nebraska had, 2 different guys get a hand on, couldn't quite corral it.
Same team.
I thought the defense was really good pretty much all night long for Nebraska.
That's been something that I've been really impressed with Nebraska this season, and something that I've been really impressed with Fred Hoiberg adjusting his style, because he's known as an offensive coach. But this year, with the roster that he's put together this year, he's changed his style and kind of changed the way that he wanted things to run with this Nebraska team, and the way that they play defense, the aggressive nature that they play defense, jumping passing lanes, and their constant switching. And that is a credit to having guys who are able to guard multiple positions. The constant switching that they are able to do on the defensive end is something that has led to them having one of the better defenses in the nation this year, and kind of not covering up because they have good shooting, but kind of assisting in allowing them to have more off nights than they, or maybe the same amount of off nights that they had before, but the way that they're able to keep teams from shooting higher percentages is a way that they've won more games this season. So Nebraska's defensive effort all season is something that I've been really impressed with. And that's something that, you know, you go to these neutral site games, and obviously it hasn't shown up a lot on the road, but these neutral site games in the NCAA tournament and in the Big Ten tournament, defense travels. You know, maybe your depth perception is going to be off when you're shooting the ball, but you don't have to worry about the depth perception when you're just trying to lock somebody up on the floor. And that's something that's going to that's going to help Nebraska once the Big Ten tournament starts. And I'm not going to go anywhere beyond that because we know Nebraska's history in the NCAA tournament. But you mentioned the fan base at PBA this year. Shout out to the fans. I just want to give you some quick statistics on that, right? As of today, as of today, Nebraska men's basketball ranks number 7 nationally in total attendance, 277,338 for 19 games, and number 15 in average. They average 14,597 people packed into PBA. Last year, they were 28th in the total, so they went from 28th to 7th and 22nd in the average. Shout out to the fan base and those statistics, courtesy of Amy Just on Twitter. Shout out to Amy.
There you go. Good
Look
stuff.
at that. The fan base packing PBA and helping Nebraska to an undefeated conference record and only one loss at home. Damn you, Creighton.
Just go back to Omaha and stay in Omaha forever. Never come down here. Just kidding. After you won home games.
Not a shout out, but Creighton with
reverse shout out.
But Creighton with 2 top 5 or top 10 at least victories in the past like 2 weeks.
This latest one doesn't count.
Doesn't count?
It doesn't count because Marquette was down to its 2 best players.
Okay.
And they had to come here.
Okay.
So I'm not giving them credit for the Marquette.
I'm just you still got the win.
Did it happen? Yes, they won,
but you're not going to count it.
I'm not.
Which I would expect nothing less from you.
So Kolek's not playing the rest of the regular season. Iguodaro, we'll see. Quick notes on the women's team: they lose it by 174-73. They'll be the 5 seed in the Big Ten tournament. We'll take a look at the women's team's path and then some potential paths for the men through the conference tournament. Hour 2. Nebraska had chances. They had chances. A bit of an iffy foul call. Seemed like the Illinois girl kicked Markowski's foot and tripped herself. Tough call there, but again, on the road in the Big Ten, you're probably not getting that one. This free throw is by Hake. I like Nebraska going to Nisley in the corner. Maybe not the best, looking shot. Looked a little rushed potentially, but I like the option. You get the offensive rebound, then you don't really even get a good shot up after that. So Jazz Shelley was cooking. I would have liked to maybe seen the ball in her hands, let her create a little bit.
But that's exactly where Illinois
defensive game plan at the end now.
That's exactly where Illinois thinks you're going to go. And maybe you're, using her as kind of a decoy and realizing, look, if she gets the ball, she's going to have somebody on her right away. So let's go to the player that the team, that the coaches and the players have said is the best shooter on the team. Go to Logan Nisley, even though she's a freshman. Hopefully the moment's not too big. And like you said, it was kind of rushed. Still, I like the shot. It just didn't go in. It happens. Unfortunately, you lose by 1 on the road in the Big Ten. It's a tough conference. Definitely should have beaten Illinois and given yourself a top 4 seed, but you still get a single bye in the Big Ten tournament, which is still big.
It is. One guy that's not a decoy, probably will never be used as a decoy in his life, Victor Wembanyama. That boy good. He has been as advertised, maybe even better. We'll talk some NBA, Rico and I will, when we get back here down the block.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go. Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at nebraskaautodetail.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. Liberty Law Group is here to do the heavy lifting for you. We believe in treating every client with respect and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be breezy, though, but mild. We'll see a high around 61. Tonight, mainly clear skies and an overnight low around 30. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return. We'll see less wind, too, and an afternoon high around 60. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Still talking basketball here during On the Block. I'm Austin Norman, joined by Rico. Switching gears from college to the NBA here. We'll get back to college hoops here in a little bit. Don't worry. Let's start with your Knicks, Rico. Jalen Brunson had the weirdest looking injury, and I hope the Knicks are telling the truth, because if they're lying to you,
the MRI was negative.
Contusion, but Rico, that looks so weird. Like the dude jumped, and you could see mid-air, he's like grabbing his leg, wincing. It looked awkward, but if it's just a contusion, that is huge for the Knicks still trying to get first-round home court.
They said that they bonked knees. I didn't see the knee bonk, but they said that they bonked knees, and that is just a knee contusion. So
who are they?
I believe the doctors, and I pray to sweet baby Jesus that it is just a knee contusion. The MRI was negative, is what they said. He'll probably miss like a game or two more, but way to come out, Deuce McBride, and play the entire time.
Miles McBride.
They look. Thibodeau loves Deuce. Subs him in, doesn't take him out.
Mm-hmm.
Played the entire game, made Evan Mobley touch earth, and sunk the layup. No, it's scary, but the Knicks being able to do what they did against the 4-seed Cavs, 4-seed, right? 4 or 3, one of those. Against the Cavs, even though they didn't have Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks were without their 3 best players. No Brunson because he played a minute, not even. No Julius Randle, who's still coming back from his shoulder injury. He says that he should be back.
No, quickly because they traded. Wait, without their top 4 players.
I'm gonna kick you. No OG Anunoby because he had hand, elbow surgery, just get some loose bodies.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes injury.
Something like that. Get some loose bodies out of one of his extremities.
Oh, yeah, that elbow.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, so you're without
Isn't that
those
just the
three.
weirdest medical diagnosis? He had loose bodies floating around.
I never really understand whenever they're just like, yeah, I had a small procedure to get some loose bodies. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Bone chips or like fat globules or something?
Was your bone just chipped off and they're just like, you got a couple pieces of bone in there. Let's grab that out of there real quick.
Or
It's
calcium,
weird.
man.
So they're without their three best players. Mitchell Robinson says that he thinks that he's going to get back this season at some point before the season is over. Hartenstein's done a fantastic job subbing in and doing things in that spot for him. And Jericho Sims in limited time doing a pretty solid job. But the Knicks, hey, look, it's a deep roster. The other Nova guys stepping up. Josh Hart snatching Donovan Mitchell's chain after hitting the step back three in front of the Cavs bench. You got Dante DiVincenzo, Black History Month DiVincenzo, the big ragu, playing like I don't even know, playing out of his mind. The Knicks are in a good position right now, and like you said, they're in a good spot to potentially be a top 4 seed and get some home court advantage once the NBA playoffs start. But they're gonna need to get healthy. That's the only thing. If they're healthy, they're one of the best teams in the East. But right now, it's just a hodgepodge of players. Just a bunch of role players playing their roles with nobody really to lead the way.
You know who is the best team in the East?
It's not even a question, and I hate to say it, so I'm not going to say it. I'll let you say it.
Boston. Put 50 on the Warriors and now have an NBA record 3 wins by 50 points or more. Phil Jackson's, the elite teams win 40 because they lose 20. Boston's blown that out of the water. I mean, they're going to win 60 games.
Yep.
They might challenge 70 the way they're playing right now.
That team is ridiculous.
And I'm glad you brought up Villanova. There's I'm getting a lot of Villanova, like peak Jay Wright vibes.
Ooh.
Enough defense, but like something preposterous. I think it was like 40% of Boston's points come from 3-pointers. So if they go cold, yeah, there's a way to beat them, but they defend enough to get away with it. Tatum can get downhill. Brown can get downhill.
Unless you force him left.
Unless you force him left. That's just the thing.
Just force the dude left. How hard is it?
Well,
obviously,
if I knew the answer, I would not be sitting here.
Yeah,
but Boston is an absolute wagon.
Yeah,
sorry.
There's really nothing else to say about Boston. They've just been playing out of their mind all season. I didn't expect this out of the Boston Celtics this season. I expected them to be good, be one of the best teams in the East, but not this. This is not what and then after Milwaukee trades for Dame, I thought, oh, this is it. They're going to take over that top spot in the East. It hasn't happened, and Boston's just been running away with seemingly every game that they've played. It's ridiculous, honestly. Just to be honest with you, I don't know if there's anybody in the East that can challenge or potentially take down Boston. Now, it would be a 7. It is a 7-game series, and anything can happen. But man, they just look unstoppable right now.
Speaking of looking unstoppable, didn't mean to bury the lead.
Chet Holmgren.
Victor Wembanyama
my bad.
has overtaken Chet Holmgren in the Rookie of the Year,
Has he?
poll. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have you seen the win shares?
Chet's on a winning team. Wemby's production is better.
I'm just saying, Chet Holmgren has the OKC Thunder at number 1 in the West.
Rico, I'm the guy that said Chet Holmgren was the dark horse to win Rookie of the Year.
You did.
Okay, I said that multiple times on these airwaves. I'm a Chet enjoyer. He's a mini haha guy. Okay, we know that from the retirement. Played with Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga. Jay's a big Chet Holmgren guy as well. I'm sure we'll get his take on that.
He's great.
Later.
I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is.
Wemby's been better. Rico, how many times?
12 wins.
How many players in NBA history, as rookies, have put up 30 points, 5 assists, and 5 blocks in a game?
0.
It's Wemby.
Yep.
It's Tim Duncan.
Oh.
And it's David Robinson.
Oh, well, of course it is.
All Spurs.
Of course. Yeah.
All Spurs.
Of course.
Kind of funny to think through that.
Ridiculous. Get out of here, Pop.
I'm trying to find some of these other incredible stats. So games with 5+ blocks since the All-Star break.
Okay.
Wembanyama has 5 games with 5 blocks and another game with 4 blocks. Okay. The rest of the NBA has 4 games with 5 blocks since the All-Star break.
When was the All-Star break?
Last week.
2
weeks ago.
So the last
2 weeks ago.
The last 5 games for Wemby. I'm just looking at his stats. 5 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks, 6 blocks to go along with 27, 22, 17, 28, 31 points. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, he's like you said before, he's an alien, and we've never seen anything the likes of him with the handles, the shot, the defensive IQ and the ability to block shots without getting called for fouls. We've never seen anything like it. But I mean, the Spurs are bad. Like they're they're
wretched.
Very bad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those where it's like, okay, we're gonna go to Wemby and just let Wemby cook. I mean, the dude's he is shooting right now in his last few games 43, 52, 38, 52, 64 from the field, but it's a lot of close range shots. He's not shooting a ton of threes. He's getting good percentage on his threes.
He's shooting 43. He's shooting 43% on pull-up threes. He's like 7'4".
I say he's 7'4", so nobody's going to be able to
43%
contest him.
Well, and it's not even about the contest. It's about all the moving parts.
He has to unfold to shoot. I saw it firsthand. First summer league game. I was there. Dude has to unfold to shoot a three, and that's something that DP and Strick were talking about. Like if he needs to get quicker with that. He needs to stop holding it down here and hold it a little closer so he doesn't have to completely bring his whole 7'12" body up to shoot the ball. Yeah, 7'12". He's tall.
He is tall.
He's a unicorn. I mean, we
in
heard
the truest sense of the word.
We heard the unicorn talk with Kristaps Porzingis because he was doing
Karl-Anthony Towns.
They were doing these things before Wemby was doing it. However, they weren't handling the ball as he was handling it. They weren't, jumping from the free throw line, holding the ball as a layup and then turning it in to dunk it and making it look simple as anything in the world. Like he is truly a one of a kind. I mean, 7'5" with his ability to handle to call for an I don't know what game it was. He called for an ISO, had the ball, did a couple crossovers, stepped back and hit a three at 7'5".
Yeah. I thought he was 7'12".
He's too tall. Like you said, the moving parts, how far the ball has to travel just to get to the ground, and his ability to cross over quickly and then get the ball into a position to shoot it is just ridiculous.
Right now,
but I still don't think he should win Rookie of the Year.
He's going to.
And he's going to win. He's about to win Defensive Player of the Year on a 13. Right now, they have 13-win ball club. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Rudy's been really good on defense.
You can't be the Defensive Player of the Year and have that bad of a losing record. If you're close to 500, yeah, sure. But you mean to tell me the Defensive Player of the Year isn't impacting the game enough, or the Rookie of the Year isn't impacting the game? I mean, rookie, I guess, kind of understandable, but impacting the game enough to get you a little bit closer to 500?
It's Defensive Player of the Year, not Defensive Team of the Year.
I'm just saying. Well, you're the Defensive Player of the Year. You're doing enough. It's not like Rudy did all that much, except for block shots. And Utah was still good.
Well, Rudy was really good in drop, too.
Yeah.
So was Brook Lopez. I'm going to throw this out here for Wemby, too. So he's playing fewer than 30 minutes per game,
as you should,
which I don't blame San Antonio for that. He's still averaging 20, 10, 3, and 3 blocks. Okay, he's doing that in 28.7 minutes per game. The fewest minutes per game anyone in NBA history has ever taken to average 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. Tied 36.8 minutes, Kareem and the Admiral.
He's a freak.
He's doing it 3/4 of the time.
There's absolutely nothing more that needs to be said about Victor Wembanyama, except for he needs to win. That's it. That's all it's going to be. But it's his rookie year. This is rookie of the year. It's his rookie year. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. Like, there's really no arguing. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. The NBA has pumped enough sunshine into San Antonio for that to happen. It's fine. I'm over it.
Good. I'm glad there's nothing
I do. Like, I've never watched as many Spurs games since my grandfather has passed than I have this year.
Was he a Spurs guy?
He was a big Spurs guy.
Nice.
And never watched more Spurs basketball until this year. And although they're very bad, it's so much fun to watch him play.
Wildly entertaining.
He was born in 2004.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He's the same age as my youngest brother.
That's ridiculous.
It's dumb. Like you said, nothing else to say on Wemby. We should go to break right there. We'll have to do this again. It was fun. You in tomorrow?
NBA corner.
We talk some.
Do you want me in tomorrow?
Thunder?
I can be here.
Talk some Thunder.
Yeah.
Talk some Wolves. Talk some Clippers on the low.
Shout out to the
Steph's
Clippers.
Insane month of February.
How do you feel about the Clippers' new logo?
We'll talk about that tomorrow because I have many thoughts on that.
Okay.
Jason Kelce retired. We'll break that down here real quick to wrap up Hour 1 of On the Block.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and Air Park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. Liberty Law Group is here to do the heavy lifting for you. We believe in treating every client with respect and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block. Austin Norman, Rico with you here. Thanks to Mary Ellen Food for the Soul for sponsoring the show. We're with you weekdays from 2 to 4 here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Was at a wedding reception this past weekend. Met a couple people who watch on stream. So appreciate y'all tuning in.
You guys are amazing.
We appreciate you on YouTube. Drop a comment if you're watching or listening right now, if you have that ability. Jason Kelce officially retired. I guess it hadn't been made official, hadn't filed the paperwork or anything, but he had the big press conference. Went for like 40 minutes. Really good career. 7-time Pro Bowler, I think 6-time, All-Pro. Started like almost 150-ish games consecutively after his injury back in 2012, 2014. He started a lot of games for a long time.
Yeah.
He was really good. My hot take on Jason Kelce is that his agent deserves a raise.
How so?
Jason Kelce is a good player who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He probably shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's good, but he's going to get in on the first ballot because of popularity.
I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell you, like, and maybe this is just me being dumb, but like, I couldn't tell you, like, offensive line wise, like, who deserves to be first ballot aside from like dominant tackles. Like, if you give me a guard and a center, like, I couldn't tell you who should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Quentin Nelson, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, you could tell. I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know. Like, and maybe that's just me being naive or me just not knowing like NFL interior offensive lineman. But for me, that's just a hard line or a hard distinction to make for me. I'm sure it's a lot easier for other people. But like Jason Kelce, I feel like the amount of time that I've like heard his name and what the Eagles have done, on that offensive line, that interior, that offensive line for the Eagles and what they've been able to do and how dominant they've been able to be for the last few years. Like, yeah, I would say he's probably a Hall of Famer, but first ballot, I think that I kind of agree with you. It's probably that the popularity side of it. Now, I don't know. I mean, the statistics wise, 6-time All Pro, you've got to be, one of the best to
really
ever
good.
do it, right?
I'm saying he's not. Yeah.
But is that now? See, when you say that, like, that's like 6-time All Pro. That's not pretty good. Like, that's really good.
That's really good.
That's the 6. That you're the best center, right? Like, you're the best center in the league.
But the
at
Hall
that
of
point.
Fame, Hall of
6
Fame
times
is not just comparing you to your contemporaries. It's stacking you up all time.
Yeah. How many centers in the Hall of Fame are 6-time All Pros?
I don't know how long the All Pro team's been around. So
Neither do I. But I feel like
it.
that's a lot. I feel like that's a big number.
It is. Jason Kelce's very good. I don't want to let that get
You're gonna
lost
put
in the wash
you're gonna
here.
put Jason Kelce in the Hall of Very Good and not the Hall of Fame.
No, he belongs in the Hall of Fame, just
Okay.
not on the first ballot. But also right next to his agent.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Get his agent in there too. Rico, thanks for stopping by for the hour. Appreciate it.
Hey,
It's
that's
been
what I
fun.
do. That's what I do best. Jason Kelce went from a walk-on to a first ballot Hall of Famer. Look at that.
He will not be joining his brother. Sorry, Chiefs fans. Stick around for the podcast.
But who
actually
will be
don't.
taking
You're
over?
listening to more important and interesting stuff here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You know who will be taking over at that center position?
For the Eagles, it'll be Cam Jurgens if they don't move him inside the guard,
Cam
right?
Jurgens, baby.
There
Beef
you go.
Jerky. I think he was at guard this last season,
He
wasn't
was. Yes. Right guard.
He did a
for the
really
most
good
part.
job.
He did.
I don't know.
We'll see.
That's something
We'll
that I
see.
was saying when he was in Nebraska. I was like, look, he's a great offensive lineman. Why don't you just move him to guard so you don't have to worry about snapping the ball. And then
he figured out how to snap the
he
ball.
got better. And then you're just like, oh, okay, no, this
We're good.
works.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles did it. They moved him to guard and they had a dominant offensive line. But
Yeah.
now your all-pro center retires. You drafted him in the second round. Like, you're gonna move him to center. Like, it's gonna happen.
For sure.
And we'll see what happens.
We'll flip the page to college football here in hour number 2. A lot of interesting coordinator hires as Rico does his strict point.
That van says Jurgens Construction.
It's just off screen. Come on.
It
light just
says
changed. We
Hickman,
promise. Here we
Nebraska,
go.
though, and I'm pretty sure they're from Beatrice. So
Pickrell. This is what he lists as his hometown, but he
Oh.
did go to Beatrice.
Okay.
So, yep, there goes the Jurgens Construction.
So I don't think that's
Sorry,
them.
Cam.
I don't think that's
must not be. Rico, appreciate you sitting in. Jay Foreman joins me for hour 2 of On the Block right after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications.
Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
People always ask, what are Jake and Sip like when they're off the air? Well, the answer probably won't surprise you.
Hey, Jake, your Honda's looking a little dirty.
Says the guy whose license plate is barely visible.
I mean, do you even care about that thing anymore?
It gets a little uncomfortable. Now, that's when I jump in.
Hey, whoa. Mark, did you get a new car?
Nope, just took my car down to Nebraska Auto Detail. Joe and the staff made the outside and the inside look amazing. Maybe you guys need to go. Okay, wise guy.
Settle down, Jake.
Book your appointment today at nebraskaautodetail.com.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular price athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see partly sunny skies. It will be breezy, though, but mild. We'll see a high around 61. Tonight, mainly clear skies and an overnight low around 30. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return. We'll see less wind, too, and an afternoon high around 60. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cutter for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in hour 2 of the show on a Monday, presented by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Not open today or tomorrow. They're back open for you on Wednesday down at 29th and Pine Lake Road here in Lincoln. Any thoughts on anything we're talking about throughout the show? Husker hoops, college football headlines, anything, send them in 402-464-5685. Or as always, drop a comment on stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter up and rolling for you. We also have Allo Channel 961 to watch us on anywhere in the state of Nebraska now. It used to be 951 here in Lincoln. Now it's channel 961 statewide. We bring in the Husker Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Jay, what's good? How's your weekend?
Oh, it was pretty good. I mean, obviously a lot of high school basketball and so forth and so on, but there's no complaints.
Another week of it coming up here on the ticket starting Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Like for the boys at every level, every class, I guess. They got a lot to live up to.
Mm-hmm.
It was really eye opening. Yeah, I mean, I watched quite a bit of girls basketball because usually when me and Nick Sandert do boys, the girls varsity plays before. So we're fortunate enough to see both, and but just from Class A all the way down, just the skill level, the coaching, and it was a lot of exciting games. So I know that there's going to be a lot going on, obviously, with the boys coming up. So they got a lot to live up to, which is a good thing, because I think Nebraska basketball, even from the time that I came back here full time, let's just say 2014, 10 years ago, has really gotten a lot better.
It's on the rise too.
Yeah, it's on the rise.
Yeah,
nationally too. So like when Britt Prince, excuse me. First time to get, I got to watch her up close and personal. Definitely, you can see why she's top 30 recruit, without a doubt. Murphy on her team, she can get busy too. Scott Catholic had Ladwig, she's good. They have Kasner. I mean, they were going at it.
McCabe and Booth were underrated.
McCabe and Booth, yeah, and Booth was phenomenal for Elkhorn North. Essentially won the game. So you see her, she's every bit of 6 foot 6'1", can handle the rock, do whatever you need to do. Obviously, well, real deal. And then you go to Class A and Millard West. I've been hearing about the Millard West girls for quite some time.
Couple years now.
Yeah, but see, I knew about them beforehand. I knew about them.
Insider.
First of all, I was getting my teeth cleaned. Big shout out to my man Travis Anholtz, man, former teammate, black shirt. He takes care of my grill. So if it doesn't look good, it's his fault. If it looks good, give him the love.
While we're on the topic of grills, you saw Kirk Cousins' grill. Would you care to comment on that?
He's doing too much. I like it though, because he's a dork,
Yes.
So I like it. I like it for him. I do. I think it's pretty cool for him to get out. I think that's actually helped him get out, like play a little bit better.
Out of his shell a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think especially up until last year, not this year, but last year, I think he played well, most consistent. He played well in big games, and I think he was playing pretty well, before he got hurt. So, opening up, you've seen the thing where you wear the chain on the plane and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But Travis Anholt's daughters all played basketball, and he was telling me about these Millard West. He's like, Jay, have you seen these girls from Millard West? And I was like, he's like, they're all at that time. He's like, they're all 5'9" or taller. They all can shoot. He's like, we can't stop them. He's like, we can't stop them. And you can see it. They got the Gesser twins and Paven, and they are very, very skillful young ladies. So, and Bellevue West was game too. So it was a really good time, man.
It tips off again starting at 9:00 on Wednesday here with the boys state tournament. Games for you all day, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then most of the day on Saturday as well. While we're on the topic of hoops, Jay, Husker Hoops gets a win over Rutgers.
Yeah.
It wasn't always easy. Big first half lead of 12 points. Nebraska extended it to 17, was the largest at one point. Not very consistent. Nebraska really carved Rutgers up in the first half, 15-28, only 7 of 26 in the second half. Rutgers, extremely consistent. 11-32 in the first half, 10-32 in the second, 2 of 13 in the first half from 3, 2 of 12 in the second half. I said this a little bit with Rico. We didn't fully get in depth into it. You knew Rutgers was going to make a run. They're tough. They're well coached. Nebraska hasn't necessarily struggled with pressure, but they kind of live on the edge. kind of a loose handle,
Yeah.
so some long passes.
Yeah, they lackadaisical sometimes with that rock, boy. Yeah.
You've been on him for it. Strick's been on him for
Yeah.
it. And I think Rutgers' lack of ability to shoot from long range really kind of covered for Nebraska's loose handle, which is where I think Jamarcus Lawrence would have been a difference maker down the stretch. I think he's a good enough defender, gets after it on the boards.
He can handle the rock, and he can split a press or split. Once he gets past pressure, you're in trouble, and he can put a lot of pressure on you. But I think the first half was an overall good half for him, where you had 11 field goals, right, and 4 threes, 4 out of 10 of threes, which is obviously really good. And then you were playing at such a high clip in the first half, you didn't get to the free throw line. So in the second half, you couldn't hit a broadside of a barn except for threes and 2 field goals, regular field goals. Where'd you make your hay? 11, 16 the free throw line. That's how you're able to close a game. Some timely defensive stops. Rutgers, I think the way they play will mess you up offensively. They just play like a grimy type of, like even on offense, they just grimy, right? So it just kind of just gets you out of it's not a very clean.
You're uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not a very clean type of basketball. It's just like you got to have the right mindset. I think the difference between when they played out in Piscataway and at home, obviously besides the obvious, which is the home field or home court advantage, is that Nebraska hit some shots early, and they hit them throughout the whole first half. Whereas they went through long periods. Remember, they went like 8 minutes without scoring when they were on the road, to where they were consistently scoring. So whenever say Nebraska got up by 15, Rutgers would hit say 6-point run. They got the 9, then Nebraska hit a 4-point run. Well, so they never gave Rutgers true life that you could come back. You got a little bit of taste getting under double digits, and then boom, we're back up to sometimes 16, 17, 18. And that's just how they played at home. And I think they played a better defense at home. Definitely way more crisper on their rotations, communications. And I think the Josiah Alec playing his role and Rink Mass being able to play off of him, and you got to think Juwan Gary being out early in that game, because I think that was a game tailor made for him.
Yeah,
on the road, he can live like that. That's just his deal. That's right up his alley.
Double.
He doesn't have to go hype himself up to play that type of basketball. So when he got hurt out there at Piscataway, and it wasn't just like a basketball role that they kind of took a little bit out of the team, but I thought it was a good victory. I think it was a good victory after probably not playing to your expectations and intensity level at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So that shows some maturity. Now you're at home and and you win. You hold serve like you should. Get a little help there Saturday prior to the game. Right? It was Wisconsin losing. And then Iowa coming. It was Iowa. Who did Iowa beat? Northwestern?
Yeah.
Yeah, Iowa beat Northwestern, and then Wisconsin lost to Illinois. So that was a little shot in the arm as well. And you like to have that type of situation, right? You control your own destiny, you win, you kind of like you win and you're in.
Yeah.
We're not at that point yet, but you'd like to be able to capitalize on something, not sit and wait for somebody to help you. So I think it was good. At this point in time, as you get towards the end of the regular season and go towards the Big Ten tournament, style points don't matter anymore.
No.
You got to get W's, and that's the only style point that you need, and that's certainly what they did.
Which is by even winning by 11, even though it's a home game, I think is a big deal because Rutgers doesn't really get blown out all that much.
They ain't gonna
the
let
Maryland result was a little surprising, but like you said, they play dirty, they play grimy.
Right.
And that's where I think Keisei Tominaga getting that and one, that emotion after that, and then the three-pointer
right.
and one, right? Keisei led the team in scoring with 18, but it was on 13 shots, not his most efficient night because only 1 of 6 from 3. But the 3 he hit, the and one, was the biggest shot of the game. That's where you felt like, okay,
that was a dagger
Nebraska's got him back at arm's length. They kind of reestablished a little bit of control. You're feeling pretty good. Okay, just now really go close it out.
Yeah, and that's the only 3 you hit all night.
Yeah.
And that's the one where you're like, okay, if I'm Rutgers, it's going to be hard for us to win this game. I think the biggest thing that they did, where you look at rebound, I always look at the rebounder, right? Where you have, Gary had 11, Josiah had 12, Bryce Williams had 7. I like that when you get that guard rebounding there from Bryce Williams and Rink Mass. Sometimes I think his rebounding numbers sometimes get skewed because he does a really good job of sealing people off so the other guy can get their rebounds.
He's a positional rebounder, if not a leaper.
And then, look, he had a hard task. He had a hard task the day at the office where, he was getting defended, pretty tough. And so he had to be patient, and that's what you really liked. And, I think it was a good victory for him, man. It was definitely, one that they needed. And, once they got through it, I think I wouldn't say it's a sense of relief, but, it
kind of felt like that at PBA. I mean, sitting there, that crowd was tense, Jay. They were not feeling good.
No, but that's the way Rutgers plays, and probably a little bit of PTSD, whereas like you saw Nebraska, I wouldn't say lose it, but kind of sputter at the end out there at Piscataway. It's different. It
felt kind of like the Northwestern game in Lincoln.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think you're relieved, but then also you're relieved because there's a lot that goes into it. It's senior day, they walk. I mean, your whole little routine is off. And then you're playing against a team that beat you before, and they beat you in a way that wasn't very skillful. So then it's more of a, what are you made of? And, and so it showed you what they're made of. And so now, again, they got to continue to do it. Never assume anything. And what I mean by that, never assume that you're in. Go earn your way in, and then go create some havoc when you get in.
The biggest area of growth since that first game is seen in one guy's performance. Cliff Amori for Rutgers only took 3 shots, scored 6 points. But Jay, he only had 2 rebounds.
Yeah,
it took him 31 minutes to grab a rebound for one of the best in not just the Big Ten, but the country. Guy who had 14 or 15 rebounds against Nebraska the first time.
And 6 offensive rebounds.
Hungry, that is athletic, determined, driven. Like he embodies Rutgers' program. And Nebraska held that guy without a rebound for 31 minutes. That's growth.
Yeah, that's Rink Mass doing his thing. Not allowing him to be active on the offensive side. That's also Rutgers shooting a lot more threes than most likely they should have. And then therefore our guards did a really good job of, checking out and chasing. That's what I call it when you on deep rebounds. And so that's where you saw Josiah Alec and Juwan Gary with their athletic ability to be able to get some of those rebounds. So that's who really won the game last time. When you think Clifford or Amari, where he was able to get offensive rebounds, give him more chances, and allow late in the game Rutgers to get to the free throw line and knock into Nebraska's small lead without the clock running at home, and it kind of just overwhelmed it, and then you kind of like lose a little bit of energy and consistency. So they did a really good job on them. I'm pretty sure it was a point of emphasis going on, and I think they also did a really good job on Gavin Griffiths. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, I know they got a really good class coming in next year, Rutgers. I mean, it's
Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper.
That's Ace Bailey's the deal. Everybody talks about my man down there, the kid from up there in Connecticut or whatever.
Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, Cooper
from
Flagg.
Maine, my boy.
Yeah, from Maine. He can't handle that Ace Bailey. He just can't. He just can't. I mean, and that's
sounds
hard.
like Duke slander to me, Jay.
No, and that's hard for me to say because I've been a Cooper Flagg fan from the beginning. But when I seen that Ace Bailey, and you know what? That's like LeBron and Carmelo. I mean,
take your pick.
Take your pick. I mean, of course you want LeBron because he won 4 NBA championships, but
one for every 10,000 points, right?
Yeah, that's true. But you got to think for Rutgers, with Griffith, I think when you watch him play, you saw a glimpse of a player that's gonna tear into people in the Big Ten, along with the 2 knuckleheads coming in, because he's a legit 3-level scorer, and Nebraska did a really good job on him, because if he was really hitting, we might be having a different conversation today.
We absolutely would have been. He plays a big role for that team. He will next year. I had this conversation a little bit with Bach last night. I want your thoughts on it. Harper, I think, has a better idea of what Pikiell expects because his older brother went there.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to know it in your head. It's another to actually go through it yourself and experience it. Ace Bailey, I don't know enough about his mindset. But, Jay, I think Rutgers is a team that's going to be playing better in March next year than they are in November. Because I think those freshmen are probably 2 of the most talented they've had walk on campus in the last, 20 years, let alone ever.
Yeah, that's forever.
But I also think they're built and wired to where it'll be culture shock because no one will have asked them to defend as much as Steve Peichel will.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, they're good guys. They're good dudes.
Yeah.
And even if they don't know what they signed up for, I think they're going to be up to the task, even if there's a learning curve.
Yeah, because I was able to watch. I got duped into downloading that like an app, and you can watch Ace Bailey. Look, man. It was. I mean, look. It wasn't bad. $10, $9.99. But I mean, just you get to watch. I watched 2 of his games. And I watch Harper as well. Here's the deal, man. What them 2 dudes do. Like, I know a lot of people try to say, we'll see like these. This is nothing again. You see some Lincoln teams and all. They think that listen, them dudes are dogs. Like. They and the thing is about it, like when they step on the court, like one thing I watched about Bailey, like he did the first initial, like he didn't even wasn't even in the fist bumps. He wasn't trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's the playoffs. And then he just came out, just went straight to work. Is no, one guy tried to soften him up. Nah, I'm just and what the reason why that's important is because when he gets to college, that's the mentality he's gonna have every single day in practice, every time he steps out on the court. And so it's going to be really interesting. You talk about defense on how they have to use them defensively. I think Harper is probably a little bit, obviously ahead of defensively, but also I think being 6'10", 6'11", and be able to make up for stuff, you just got to teach him how to play steady defense and not get in foul trouble, right? And then it's kind of like Jabari Smith and those guys. Just listen. Don't be a liability. Pick and choose your spots, and then eventually, like you said, February and March, they're gonna give people problems because not only can them dudes play in the half court game, they can play the full court game. And if you want to, and that's the problem with Rutgers right now is, they can't really get up and they can a little bit, but these dudes give you guys out on the wings. So that can do it, and that's where you can really give people a lot of problems. So you look, man. I mean, the future's bright for them, but it's even brighter for Nebraska right now. So I think that where Nebraska's at basketball wise, it's a good situation. I think it's really good because you potentially got a lot of guys even coming back next year and look to finish off this season the right way. So if I'm Coach Hoiberg, I'm trying to find every little button I can push so we can finish. That's what I'm talking about. Let's finish. And let's leave no doubt. Let's not try to sit back and wait and then talk. I always have like revisionist history on, let's go back, not to say, oh, well, we had this victory 2 months ago against Purdue, so we should get in. We want to say, listen, we finished out the right way. We went in the Big Ten and caused some noise. Now the onus of, okay, not just we're in, but let's see what seed we can get.
Couple things on the text line to finish out this segment. Fred Nuthoiberg asks, has anyone brought up the official that was kind of taunting the crowd as he left the court at halftime with the booze raining down? I saw it was Robin Washut tweeted out who the refs were before the game. They're up here on the box score too. Steve McJunkins has a reputation as a bit of a showman around Big Ten country. Courtney Green was the one that was really bad a couple of years ago. Biffed it in Iowa Rutgers on the road. I think there's an Ohio State one. He was also one of the refs for Nebraska Purdue last year.
Yeah, last year with the Phantom
CJ Wilcher,
the Phantom
foul. So that was who that was. The one that Fred Nuthoiberg is referencing, Jeffrey Anderson. I don't know if any of y'all followed along with it on Twitter, but there is a whole Twitter account dedicated to Jeffrey Anderson and his high knees. I got a really good video of it.
Right, yeah.
He's a showman. He's not quite TV Teddy. He's not quite Joey Crawford, but any one of those 3 guys on any given night can think it's their game, not the player's game. It was a really good first half. Only 6 free throws between the 2 teams. They stayed out of the way, but oh boy, Jay, they started cooking late in that one.
Yeah, they got their quota. Excuse me. I think the high knee guys. I think that it's like a medical issue with him, right? He has to do it because of his. Like it looks like he got a couple bad hips, but I mean, McJunkins is kind of like a Steve Javie for NBA fans. Courtney Green was very green. And, I think sometimes refs get caught up in the moment and see things that aren't there. And then as just like any ref, even you see a lot in football, you're just going to just die on with the call. And because there's no accountability for it. So look, part of playing Rutgers, part of the way that Rutgers went on that little mini run before half, had people on edge, and then, you're booing him and he's kind of taunting you a little bit. I'd never seen that before. I mean, usually refs are just trying not to get hit upside the head by a water bottle.
Right.
So, who knows? At the end of the day, it's onward, upward, man. Just like a lot of things, you got to just keep it moving.
Virginia Pirate says Nebraska clinches a double bye with the win against Michigan. Right, the 4 seed in the Big Ten has to have a pretty good seed in the Big Dance, I would presume. Probably into the double bye with a win. That's all you can do is take care of business. Wisconsin is a game behind you. Northwestern's a half game ahead of you. And on the low, Iowa has made a run. They're 10-9. So if you lose, you'll be tied with them. You'll lose tiebreaker. So yes, if Nebraska wins, and Northwestern wins, they still have 2 games to play. Northwestern will remain ahead of Nebraska. If you look at Wisconsin, if they win their last 2 and Nebraska wins, Nebraska will stay ahead of them. If Nebraska loses, it gets interesting, depending on if Northwestern loses, if Wisconsin loses, if Iowa loses. As for Big Ten 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, the league isn't getting a lot of respect. Probably deservedly so. It's a bunch of pretty good, not a lot of great teams. So it's not as deep a league, right? I mean, Iowa's played its way onto the bubble. Michigan State is in, but probably being slightly overrated. Really, I think it's a 5-bid league, but it's going to get 6 with Michigan State. So no, you're not necessarily guaranteed a pretty good seed. Nebraska's creeping up into the mid 9s to a low 9, maybe an upper 10 sort of seed. But yeah, we are 2 weeks away, 13 days now from Selection Sunday. Dave and Fullerton, Hizzlebear, Eric, appreciate you all texting in as well. We'll go to break, chat some college football here, and we get back on the block.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the enrollment fee. The next challenge begins on March 23rd. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through March 5th is fresh cut chuck roast for just $5.99 per pound and 29% off all soap and skincare products. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or at 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green. Helping it thrive. Making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Talking some college football here during On the Block. Feels like it's been a while since we've done that, but got a
it's spring football
here.
time, man.
It is. Spring football starts same day as Nebraska's second round NCAA tournament game, so keep that in mind.
There you go.
Hopefully,
there's a lot going on, man.
There is.
A lot going
on.
Spring. I used to like the spring.
What's so bad about it now, Jay?
Oh, I like it now. I like it now. A little cool today, though.
Yeah, windy. We got 70s next week, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be 70-mile-an-hour winds. This is Nebraska. you know what I mean? The spring is like, here come the winds. I always talk to Nick about the winds of change when we're on air, when we're calling games, and he don't like it when I tell him, oh, momentum.
Uncle Mo.
Yeah.
He's just around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Comes rolling in.
Just like Uncle Leroy. Big shout out to my Uncle Blood, man. He just popped in my head. That's my dude right there, man.
Big shouts.
Yeah. He's make me tough, man. At least I thought it was tough.
Well, you made it.
Yeah, I took a lot of lickings, though. He said he threw me down a lot. He's like, boy, you don't know. You always get up. Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I'm be mad at you.
7 times like Leroy, stand up 8, right?
Yeah, I didn't start crying till he left.
Nah.
That's all right though.
Yeah, better late than never.
Yes, sir.
Interesting article from CBS Sports out on college football. The 10 coordinator hires, the 10 most consequential. Interesting in and of its own right, but especially because of the Big Ten flavor on this list. First guy on the list, I remember talking about this with Strick and then with Nick at the Home and Garden Show about a month ago now. Chip Kelly, Ohio State offensive coordinator. Yep, that one checks out. We get why that's a big deal. Not just for him, but as we'll get to here in a little bit, for UCLA. D'Anton Lynn, USC's defensive coordinator, a guy who's bounced around the NFL. in coaching circles, played at Penn State. He's back now. And Jay, I think this one really determines USC's ceiling in the Big Ten. You talk about the wins in Nebraska, not used to that out there in Pac-12 country, not used to having to go to the Big House and all these other places that USC will have to go. And I get that Nebraska's traveling out there this year. UCLA comes to Lincoln, but USC has to get this hire right. I mean, you talk about a hot seat. Lincoln Riley is on it, deservedly so.
Right.
He's got to get this defensive coordinator hire right.
Yeah, and this is a 2-year evaluation as well. You got to let him kind of reestablish establish his identity, establish his culture, be able to get at least a, transfer portal, JUCO, high school kind of mix of guys he wants. And you want to see consistent improvement. And you want to see some continuity between Lincoln Riley's offense and Lynn as the coordinator.
What does that look like in your eyes?
I don't know. That's the thing. Because the way Lincoln Riley calls plays, it's humanly impossible for your defense to be sustainable or championship level. Because you're going to go against the defensive coordinator is going to be able to shut you down, not shut you down, but slow you down. The biggest problem with Grinch that he had before was the conceptually was not very sound. That means, if they were running a flat corner, 7 or whatever kind of route combinations, 2 guys would be open. You know what I mean? So, and then, I think matching up personnel. So if I'm Lynn, right, I'm looking at the players I got. They got a big number 90 in the middle. They call him Bear. He was a transfer in from Alabama, and he was really good. I'm surprised he didn't declare early, but I think he can do well. I'm trying to get tougher up the middle, and I'm trying to be better up the middle. It starts with him, linebacker, safety. You're always going to find corners. And so I'm trying to
especially at USC.
Right, USC. Skill position is going to be, go down the street. So I'm trying to get them more discipline. I'm going to preach effort, discipline, knowledge, obviously alignment, assignment, and be aggressive. And understanding the why. I'm going to teach them the why. So then it's going to allow them to be free. But you're going to have some guys that are going to be truly invested from a study standpoint that can be your extension of a coordinator. And if he's an effective communicator and a teacher, he can really turn things around in the Big Ten, just from the way that the pressure, you're going to assume that USC on offense is going to be able to put pressure on opposing defenses. And it's a good time right now, just because of Michigan. Penn State doesn't have Diaz anymore, so there's going to be transition. So you'll be able to kind of, roll off the bus knowing you'll be able to score some points. Now, you preach the same thing. You want to be more than capable against the run, and you got to be excellent on third down. You cannot give up explosive plays. You can't give up layups. You start there, right? The ABCs of defense. Then you kind of go from exotic. I think Grinch, what he did, one of his biggest problems was he thought that he was going to be the cool coordinator. But that works in Oklahoma when you're playing against, Willie Lump and you could just score, 66-48 and all that type. It's not happening.
No.
And especially it's a hard year for him when the Pac-12 had their essentially a Cinderella or a signature year in their last year of existence. And there's other guys around the Pac-12 at that time, maybe probably with less talent and resources and fanfare, that their defenses were outperforming you. I mean,
most defenses across the country were outperforming USC, but especially in the Pac-12.
Look, when you down there, like with Arizona State, that just had a coach that was like their fourth choice, and their defensive coordinator is doing that well. And then when you have like Arizona really doing it well, way more discipline, way more conceptually sound, that's where you run into problems. I do think there can be an uptick in like their national rankings. But they're going to have to make sure that they marry to each other. And it's on Lincoln Riley as well. You can't go fast and think you're going to score, and the dude just got off the bench or just got off the field. It's not going to work.
Sounds vaguely familiar. You mentioned Michigan. Fascinating hire. Curious to see how this one plays out. Jesse Minner follows Jim Harbaugh out to Los Angeles, replaced by Wink Martindale. That's a name we definitely think of in NFL circles. This time with Baltimore, the last couple of years with the Giants. How big a get is that for Sharon Moore at Michigan?
This is probably, I think as a coach, Wink Martindale is awesome. it's going to be, this has the most question marks to me
Hmm.
because he hasn't been in college in 20 years.
Right.
Kids have changed 4 times. They change year to year now. The rules have changed. The concepts have changed. Now I think that he'll get it. He'll get it together. Because people gravitate to Wink, and he's a good dude, and he puts you in position to be successful. Blitz heavy everywhere he's been.
And Michigan should have the athletes to do that, right?
And yeah, look, he likes a lot of man-to-man, zero coverages. He's trying to hit the quarterback. I think they'll start it maybe a little slow. And that's as the whole, Sharon Moore, the whole thing is going to be not what it used to be, but I think eventually he'll get going. And I think that he'll eventually do well. I think he'll do well in recruiting just because of he can lean on his NFL experience, but then also his personality, it's kind of like, what you see is what you get. And I think he'll be able to kind of, sooner than later, get the kids to gravitate to him just because of who he is. And so once you get that going on, he'll probably just, get right on the same level as Mentor, who's obviously at San Diego now.
USC has a new defensive coordinator. UCLA has a new offensive coordinator in the form of Eric Bieniemy,
Right.
who I didn't realize was at UCLA for a couple years already. We know about his couple-year stint at Colorado as offensive coordinator. This is a guy that got passed over for some NFL head coaching opportunities. We know what he did in Kansas City. Maybe not, the best year in Washington this last year. But this is a guy with huge force of personality. I think is going to be a huge help for Deshaun Foster as he starts out his head coaching career.
His experience and his what he's learned, from the places that he's been before, will help any coach, let alone Deshaun Foster in his first time being a big time Power 5 coach at his alma mater. I think Eric Bieniemy has always had to do more with less, and so I don't think the reins at UCLA will stop him from being successful. I think the type of athletes and what they'll get will allow him to really take some things that maybe he learned from the Kansas City Chiefs and also at times at Washington Commanders to be very successful. I think his type of coaching will be very welcome. I mean, it's straightforward. He devils in the details. He's going to push you. He's going to challenge you. I think you will start to see more guys go to the NFL from USC if he continues, if he's on there, if he's there for like say 3, 4, 5 years. And it might be something that might be a blessing in disguise. I don't, from like the people that I know, and I know guys, that are decision makers, I don't know why he's not a head coach. Now I have some assumptions. Now, obviously there's the obvious one, and I'm not in those meetings. I don't really believe the whole interview well thing. Or because Staley, who was the old coach at the Chargers, he would not be a head coach. Now he's a great defensive mind coach. He ain't interviewing well because
he's in San Francisco now.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, if Vic Fangio, and this is nothing to give, I love Vic. If Vic Fangio can get a head coaching job, as far as being in the interview, Eric Bieniemy could be a head coach 10 times over. I'm just talking about just personality and people skills. I'm just being straight up. Right. But I think maybe in college he gets there and you got a university that wants to really change the culture and start to up their level of accountability and what you look like and what you're willing to do. I mean, listen, he was a great player. He's a great coach. He's coached the best. He knows what it takes. I think he's going to do well. It's going to be probably a little rough start, but I think he's going to end up doing well.
Couple more in the Big Ten here. Tim Lester at Iowa. They need a spark in the worst way. Lester's numbers weren't great at Western Michigan. We'll see if he's able to work any magic at Iowa City. But Penn State, Jay.
Yes.
Fascinating. Probably the third best team in the Big Ten next year, which is right where they've been.
Yeah.
Behind Ohio State, behind Michigan. Now I think it's behind Ohio State and behind Oregon. But 2 new coordinators, Tom Allen, former Indiana coach, and his defensive coordinator.
He should have been on here. Oh, that's his offensive guy. I think he should be on there.
He definitely could be. But the guy they choose from Penn State, Andy Kotelnicki, who worked for a decade plus with Lance Leipold, Whitewater through Buffalo, then at Kansas. Penn State's offense was not explosive, like Iowa levels of non-explosive last year, pretty workmanlike.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if Tom Allen can maintain the defense that Manny Diaz kept running after all the coordinator turnover. But also if Kotelnicki can develop another like Parker Washington, another Fryermuth.
Right.
I think they have a Saquon type guy in the running back room.
Yeah.
But
That
Penn
tight
State's
end.
offense hasn't had the ceiling that it needed to be elite.
I think first of all, I think Tom Allen is going to be excellent. I love Tom Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I got the interview.
The other Dr. Tom.
Yeah. Well, Tom Osborne's always the top notch, but Tom Allen, I think, being able to motivate in the defensive mind, he's awful aggressive though. I love it though, if you look at Indiana when they were playing well, it's his defense, and a lot of his coordinators are down in the SEC now at Ole Miss and stuff like that. So
one of them's coaching in Alabama right now.
Yeah, and so they learned from him. He's a defensive mind, man. I'm telling you, and he's a football coach. He fits Penn State greatly. I mean, he fits right in. So I think these two hires go hand in hand. When you think of the Kansas offense, right? They were physical, and that's why they were such an outlier in the Big 12, where you're like, man, how's Kansas beating these teams? Well, they're knocking your head in the dirt. Then they were explosive based on they allowed the quarterback to be, have the freedom to be aggressive. They'll throw nines. They'll throw the bang 8. They'll throw a regular post. They'll throw post corner. They'll do coaster or crossing routes. They will hit you with every concept out there. And they got Drew Aller. And they had a good year in the transfer portal. There's no reason why that offense can't be more explosive. No reason why. They're always going to have offensive linemen. They're always going to have defensive line. Penn State's always going to have athletes. Now it's up to James Franklin to really step back, let these two dudes do their job, and be the CEO. That's what it comes down to. And you can't panic. No, because again, it's like this is a 2-year deal. You got to let it happen, but they couldn't have got better replacements, and they upgraded, I think, from the offensive coordinator spot.
I'm with you on that one. How long has James Franklin been at Penn State? If you had to guess.
Too long.
11 years.
I know. And he ain't done tiddly-poo.
No. One Big Ten title.
He ain't
no
done
Sorley and Barkley. That's it.
He ain't did tiddly-poo, man. I like James Franklin. I like him more now than I did a couple years ago. I think it was too much. I think he got too fixated on excuses. And it was hard because Ohio State was running through you, and then here come Michigan. But I liked it that he was able to change some things, and I think I like James Franklin, man. He's a funny dude.
He won at Vandy for Pete's sake.
Yeah, he did, and you ride that wave, and when they were talking about him going to USC, I was just looking at him like, that's not what you want, dude.
He agreed with you. He took your advice.
That's not what you want.
I don't know if you have James Franklin on speed dial or not.
No, I don't. But stay right there in Happy Valley. You're off the beaten path. You get to do your thing. You're out of blue blood. They're they don't like a lot of turnover. You're winning. Yeah, the pressure's on, but I think you can always hire good coaches there, as you've seen that they're able to do, and you'll be just fine. It's going to come down to having a couple special players make special plays, and you putting them in the position when the time is right to do so. To get over the hump, get over the Ohio State hump, get over the Michigan hump, I guess, or and all the teams that are, Oregon and Washington. It's gonna come down to it.
While we're on that topic, just real quick, a note came out today that Big Ten Media Days will be a 3-day event now in Indianapolis. Day 1 will be Illinois, Northwestern, Ohio State, Purdue, Rutgers, and Wisconsin. Day 3, Indiana, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Oregon, Washington. Day 2 involves Nebraska, obviously, along with Iowa, Michigan State, your boy James Franklin, and the 2 Los Angeles schools, Jay.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool, man, just to see those guys out there. The vibe of it. I think this is going to be the biggest Big Ten Media Day, in quite some time. So it's going to be interesting to see how the newbies do, and then also the old heads that have kind of already been here, how they kind of try to stake claim. Kind of say, listen, we still run this, and you gotta pay your rent per se. So it's going to be interesting to see the vibe and how these West Coast teams or Pac-12 teams approach the Big Ten, because this is a step up for them. It is. I mean, let's be honest, right? If it wasn't, then you guys would still be playing the Pac-12. So. It'll be interesting. What's your Dan Lanning?
Dan Lanning, Nick's boy.
Man, I swear to God, if I was playing against Dan Lanning, boy, I would knock his head smooth off his body. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't look like he should be the high major head coach.
He got that smile though, man.
A little sly.
Yes. Don't he?
Yeah.
Do you ever get that right?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. He like that dude that like know he stole $20 from you and just look at you and smile.
I did.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Man,
Thank you for letting me steal your $20.
Yeah. And it'd be then you ask him about it. He's like, yeah, I got you. Yeah. So it'd be pretty cool. I mean, I played against Deshaun Foster, so it'd be cool to see him. Then I get to see my man Jed Fish.
That's right.
I got a story about Jed Fish. I ain't gonna say it, but I love Jed Fish, man. I do love Jed Fish.
We'll save it for media days. It's got to come out at some point.
No,
Jed has to come out at some point.
He outkicked his coverage.
That boy Jed.
Yeah, man. I remember when we broke training camp. I seen him the next day. I looked at Jed. I said, you know what? I got newfound respect for you, man. And he was like, why? I said, just trust me, I do. And anyways, anyway, yeah.
You gave him the Dan Lanning smile. You know why.
I did. And I eventually told him, though. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm pretty lucky. Yeah, man. But it's good, man. I'm happy for him because you know what? He's a good dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that'll be interesting. We'll keep tabs on that. We'll throw it to break, wrap up on the block. Kevin McHale in town last night. Want Jay's thoughts on that? We'll get to that here in just a minute.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through March 5th is fresh cut chuck roast for just $5.99 per pound and 29% off all soap and skincare products. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or at 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the enrollment fee. The next challenge begins on March 23rd. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back one final time here during On the Block. Big thanks to Rico for sitting in hour one. Jay Foreman been alongside me hour number two. Welcome in, boss man. DP, what's good?
What? Everything is
That's
good.
The spirit.
Everything's good. It's a good time and a good week. And let me take a moment and say thank you and kudos to Jay Foreman and Nick Sainert, Josh Lill for holding it down in the girls' state tournament, and then to wish them well this coming week with another full slate.
Wednesday at 9.
Yeah,
it's going again.
Starting Wednesday. Get it going. So yeah, it's cool having done that tour. I kind of know how it weighs on you. So mad respect.
Yeah.
Mad respect. Not easy, absolutely worthy. And I'm looking forward to having Jay kind of tell us the stories of, who some of these young people are, some of these coaches,
For sure.
Yeah, man. It's I've been impressed, man. I always said I probably need to be, coaching females. They play it the right way. They play basketball the right way. A lot of the boys, which would be great to coach them. I mean, and the coaching is a honor, or whatever. It's something that's if you take it seriously, it's a big deal. But it's just like they're not trying to look cool. They're trying to get the job done. And they out there competing, man, and they are definitely.
They still look pretty cool too.
Yeah, and they are, and it's different because they listen. They will cross you up, man. Like you back, like they were just kind of like pick and pop, hit a three, pump fake, jump, stop, shoot. Oh no, they trying to break your ankle, straight up, behind the back, between the legs, Euro step, finger roll. Yeah, so it's definitely the club teams that they've all played for. And obviously their coaches and, probably parents and whoever they go to have done a really good job. I know they got the Lasers here. And then, the one team I know that like Lloyd Williams had it because he coached, Britt Prince, and you got the Gesser twins. And I mean, they're pretty,
imagine that all-star team.
Listen, man, they 6 foot tall and they, first of all, can run circles around me. They can shoot it and do everything. It's pretty cool.
What would it take for you two basketball cerebral assassins who kind of approach the game in the right way? What would it take for some program to get either of you two involved in it?
High school?
Yeah. Like there are a lot of gates. I was asked this question literally this morning, and I thought about it. And I went,
"You want the real answer?"
I want the real answer because I mean, it again, we're either informing or performing.
You know what? I need to answer this after this.
That is spectacular.
I listen. Listen. Everybody know there's a coach in Lincoln I don't like. Period.
Okay.
And he knows I don't like him.
Okay.
I don't like him because he lied to me and lied, just wasn't very truthful.
Right.
Take all that aside, and that's petty, right? Because I wouldn't say I don't like him. I mean, he's all right, dude. He's a good coach, right?
Right.
I think LPS is just different, and the way they approach sports is a lot different. You got to be a teacher. Well, technically, you don't.
Yeah, because there are those that don't. So we know that there's
everybody's a teacher.
Everybody is a teacher.
But there's in the very small print. Technically, you don't have to be a teacher.
You can work for the school.
But yeah, I could be checking your IDs, and you could be. But generally, you
security guard J4.
Generally, you a teacher.
Well, that's like so
that makes
kind of
it
everywhere.
That makes it hard. That makes it hard to really be coaching because you being a teacher is a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy.
I got 2 of them in my family. I want to shout out mom and dad.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you know that, right? And so then you turn around and try to coach. And then a lot of these coaches I wouldn't even call it recruit if they're just not out there. And then when they're out there, they're out there, I think, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's always interesting when people have those discussions. I don't know if you need to give the ID.
We did. At the end of the break, we're good.
Yeah, I don't know how it is here.
It's different.
Right? And there's
different.
so much of the things that I've come to expect as a norm or a standard don't exist here, and that's fair. And I was talking to several coaches this weekend from Lincoln, and they all had a statement about it is time for Lincoln to step up.
It is.
And that it can no longer accept
getting your head beat in.
Right. And that with the state coming up, there's one Lincoln team that has eyes on folks, and then everybody else is really in the chase or hiding.
Well, see, last year they had like 3. So they had North Star, Southeast, and there was another one.
Was it Lincoln proper or was
No. Right, Austin? They had 3 teams in Lincoln had 3 teams in the state last year. It was Southeast.
Look it up. I don't want to.
So let me.
East was
yeah,
in
East made
So
it.
then let me ask this question. Yeah. So is there a way with the best coaches, like let's just say a coach who can coach, walked into Lincoln today and said, "Hey, I'm going to coach at a Lincoln public high school."
Doubt it. I don't know. Text line tells I doubt it. I got a friend that when I said a story, they said, "I doubt it. I doubt it."
Like because I was asked the question because
I doubt it.
They talked to somebody here had talked to my old mentor Red Jenkins, who's one of the legendary high school coaches in the country, and they said, "Why haven't you guys convinced DP to coach?" And I have my own reason why I don't do it, and I don't want to speak on anybody else's, but here's what I know: good coaches are people that I want to coach with, and if either of you were coaching, I could coach with y'all.
Well, it's different,
right? But I don't know that's the case about anybody else in Lincoln, and so I'm trying to find out what's the standard, what's wrong, and then how far you are away from.
I don't
fixing.
think. See, contrary to belief, I don't think they're that far off.
Okay,
talent wise.
Okay.
I think mentality wise, they're definitely off. We had Dominique Kelly in here, and she told you the mentality is just different. So I think that mentality wise, once that changes, then you're going to see the change in everything that comes along with it. Building a program is not just going on a 2-year run when you went around and like recruited dudes and you like over recruited and you're essentially taking advantage of like a weaker like city thing.
Yeah,
that's not a program.
That's not a team. That's a team for
now.
Now, building a program is from the bottom. The start to the end.
From they pick up a basketball in second grade.
That's
the time they're seniors.
Now I think I don't think you can really do that in Lincoln, and I don't really know other things, but
yeah, you can.
Like, okay,
you absolutely can. I mean, ambassadors, champions,
right?
The little
okay,
Supreme
well, yeah, you're right.
Right, because there's somebody that can move. So whatever box needs to be checked, right? To make progression. It's not going to be one person.
No, it's going to have to be right. It's going to everybody's going to have to get tired.
Take a leader.
Yeah, they're going to have to get tired of getting their butt kicked. Listen, and in football, it is apparent. Because is the bridge a shorter bridge, a smaller bridge in basketball than it is in football? Why? Because you need more bodies. It's more bodies.
Well, even Omaha has, we've talked about it. You've talked about Abdul and Steve and everything they're doing up there. It just seems like there's so much more of a focus on it.
Why aren't they running a high school program to get it as the standard? Because somebody has to set the standard. And I'm not sure that there is a standard setter in full for how to organize it. So there's some dudes that can do
Westside, Bell West have been pretty good.
Okay,
for
so
a
those are the ones.
Elkhorn South's coming.
Elkhorn
Gretna,
South is
we'll
coming.
see.
Gretna's they got a program. When I view a program is like
North.
I always say like I call it the walk by. This is what I used to try to always tell the kids I coach. We need to pass the walk by test.
Yeah.
So if DP walks by, Austin walks by, Sally Sue, Jimmy, Reggie, or whoever, you get kind of like the same consensus. And that's what they do in Omaha versus here.
Okay.
And it's a lot different because for whatever reason, I don't know how it changed up there or when it changed and when the whole thing emphasis changed. It changed and then everybody embraced it. And then it was just mainly in the metro. See, the problem is then it went to Gretna. Then it went down to Ashland and
Waverly.
Norris and Waverly, even Beatrice have always kind of had some of that.
Yeah, and Norris is like I always say, like it's just like Maslin in Ohio. Norris, you have a baby, he play back, he get a little basketball. Them dudes play like robots.
But
Wahoo. But the thing is like they do it from the very beginning. It's a lot like my high school coach. I asked him how he built. At that time, it was Forest Lake when he came to Prairie. He started at 4th grade. He started implementing his offense and what he wanted to be a future Eagle from the time that they started playing tackle football and time to there.
He's at 5 years to see those kids.
Right.
Well, I mean, and the text line asked the question because I think it's a fair question. And again, it provides answers. Would the Jim Weeks model work in Lincoln? He directed everything in Beatrice K through 12.
Well, here's an example. My man down in Auburn, the coach that we about to see this weekend, I coached against him in summer. We still, every time I see him in joke, I pulled the Hoboken hustle on him, right? Hey, DP, I pulled a Minneapolis move on him. This is the funniest thing ever. So shout out to my man, Mike Tobin, who was my coach, one of my coaches growing up. He taught me this. So I was telling him I was coaching or whatever. And he's like, yeah, once you get up and, coach, you get them dudes do this, right? So and it's generally to test the refs, right? So what happened was he's like, call a timeout as the ball's getting inbounds. Because technically you can't. Once the ball's in the air, it's the offensive ball. Mm-hmm. I even waited a little bit longer till you had it at free throw line. And he still talks to me about it. So he's involved, man.
Yeah, this was the other thing.
So, it can be done, but it's harder. It's easier to build a program, in my opinion, in a Norris, a Kearney, a Wahoo, a Waverly, because there's nowhere else for those kids to go.
Yeah, we're captive audience certainly plays into it. If there was a Lincoln school that you could go in, because my reasoning is I would want to coach every sport at the same school.
Yeah,
like that's always been like top of the line for how I was going to make.
Well, I think to be honest with you, I think there's
is there a play? That's the question. Is there a school or a talent pool that you could walk in that is closest to where you're trying to be, and then you could implement what you want to implement?
Each school has plenty of talent. I don't think that's
because when you look at it,
get better, but there's pockets everywhere.
Like Southeast, they're in the state tournament. They're senior heavy. They had to have been doing something right? Those dudes have been playing varsity since they've been like in 9th grade. So now they're getting the payoff, and they've made it last year. So then you look at North Star, right? They got a little bit of mix of everything, and then they got a really good club coach Brian Castor, who is their JV coach, right? So the varsity coach knows what he's getting, and he's getting it because this dude's involved in his program. And then, look at, I talked about Richie Ross last because we had Dominic Kelly in. So he's just taking over at Lincoln High. They got some talent. They just need to get the more of the kind of the structure. And Lincoln High probably has a little bit more of like red tape things working against them, but he's willing to accept that job, right? Because I've seen him coach football and basketball. And then you got Lincoln East to where, there's no, like, you can't opt into that school. So you get what really is good for them is they have a talent pool of guys, kids that have played organized basketball. Now, the problem is they all play the same. Well, when you play against Westside, you all play the same. Dude, you ain't got no time to adjust. You can't adjust. And then you
play against Bell West and you're getting run up and down the court. Hard to adjust to that.
And the problem is, here's one thing what these coaches don't do. And there's not a coach that can convince me that you don't want it, that you can't do this. They have a shot clock in A and B. And not one of these coaches generally play zone. So that means you will roll out there with an athletic ability deficiency, right? I'm guarding Hunter Salas. Hey, listen, and you just gonna let me get cooked all day? Like it's like they got a book, like, and they ain't got past chapter 2. You got 35 seconds to shoot, so now you can't just hold the ball now. So now we got to play basketball because if you go to college, you say you go to Syracuse, what you gonna play?
Man to man right now.
Well, yeah, but you generally play 2-3 zone. Everybody plays it. NBA played it. I seen my man the Phoenix Suns played it last night. Revolving 3-2 to 2-3. So why can't you do it here?
That was such a good game too.
It was.
That was such a good game.
Bradley Beal said he had to get some get back.
Hey, man.
He sure did.
Hey, man.
Don't try to mess with Bradley Beal too. He mashed that dude in the face. I hear you, Bradley Beal.
Jay, thanks for sitting in. Appreciate it. DP and Jay coming up next on Old School. I've been Austin Norman. This is On the Block, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Old School next.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the enrollment fee. The next challenge begins on March 23rd. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Life is all about balance. So how about a little sweet and a little heat to make your week? At Wings and Rings, we're introducing our all-new Hot Honey menu for the month of March. Try our one-of-a-kind house-made sauce on the brand-new Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich or our Hot Honey Shrimp and Slaw. And of course, you can get it on the traditional boneless or smoked wings that have made Wings and Rings your go-to neighborhood spot. But don't wait, Hot Honey is only here until April 1st. So stop by Wings and Rings at one of our 2 Lincoln locations today, on O Street and on Village Lane.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced